Hello, people. It's Thursday, Juneteenth, June 19th. But more importantly for me personally, it's my little brother's birthday. He would have been 68 today. And it's my good friend Nick Fackler's little girl's birthday. She's 2 today. So cheers, everyone. Do I celebrate Juneteenth? I recognize the importance of the date. Um, we regularly have parades here every year. This year's parade was last Saturday. I didn't go. I have gone to a lot of the parades, have participated as well. Cheers. You folks took me seriously when I told you you can go ahead and talk to me. Yesterday's comments are several are very involved, and I've read them all. I only eliminated one from the Trump supporter. I'm not having it. This person spoke very calmly, but everything he said was bullshit. And I'm not having it. Trump is a disaster, and the people who are supporting him are at fault for helping to destroy what little infrastructure this country has for us to live on. So I eliminated that. Trying to talk about not all Trump supporters are racist. I ain't buying that shit. Doesn't matter. You're supporting someone who's wrecking things, and he's an abhorrent, horrid human being. So, no, your comment does not stay. I care about you as a person, but you must not care about me if you're supporting Trump, because Trump hates black people, and I'm black. So fuck that. So on to other nice things. Yeah, it was nice to hear from the person with the username that bugged me yesterday, because he's not the only person who's anonymous on here. It was just the way it was just so obviously the person is a real person, pretty descriptive with words. So thank you for identifying yourself as human. That's going to be necessary. It already is, but pretty soon it's really going to be necessary. And yes, people, I listen to all kinds of stuff. I do like my taste. But what I also need to explain is I can recognize stuff that's good, but I may not necessarily like it, okay? So someone brought up the pop band Camera Obscura. Here you go, French Navy. But this is it, because the lady's voice I kind of bugs me. It's like a little bit of it goes a long way. But when I heard this song, French Navy in particular, because after I heard this, I really liked it, bought it. I investigated the band, and this is enough, okay? Okay, so to continue on Underworld, I played this again all the way through yesterday. This is a badass fucking album. And on top of it, I pulled this and played this because I have this and I've had it since it came out. Second toughest of the infants, Underworld. And the cover is fitting. This album sounds like this, and this album sounds like this. A continuation, even a refinement, maybe you could say, of what they were doing at the time. Great music. Great music. Nice to actually have you folks share with me the stuff that you do, you know. The person who saw Sven Ake Johansson the other week, or listened to, rather, and you other folks. people talking about the British invasion. Yeah, it was important to me. And Tony Sinzant, yes, I remember your CD. I still have it. Hexatonic Brass. It might be kind of hard for me to find it right now. I have such a backlog of music, but it would probably be worth listening to again. Not probably, but if I come across it, I'll pull it and play it again. I don't want to go too deep into my brother because it's still I'm not no longer grieving, but I really miss him, and it is painful to talk about him a little bit. I still have his guitar and amplifier. Um, I don't like the amplifier that he overpaid for, so I don't use it, but I'm not selling it until I have to. And his guitar to me is an heirloom. I don't ever want to sell it like my records. If I sold it, it would be out of dire need. Cheers, people. Just a few records to associate with my brother's memory, because I have some of his records that I basically inherited when he died. Most of them were absolutely trashed, and as a result, they're in the closet. They're just they're trashed. Here's one that's out. We both love Gene Ammons. My dad was friends with Gene Ammons. They used to hang together in Chicago. I think they gigged together, and I think they got into drug trouble together too. But Gene Ammons had wicked tone on his horn. The Boss is Back. Gene, I can hear him in my head right now. Very distinct, strong tenor tone. So see, the deal is here it is, yeah. This one brings back many memories. My dad learned this album. This was a badass album, Boss Tenor. We heard this a lot at the house. Canadian Sunset. I like that song. I forget who writes it, but Wes Montgomery, everyone's done it. But two of the versions I like the best are this one and Wes Montgomery. It makes me think of my whole family fondly. Love my family so much. In spite of all the madness that happens in a family, the good and the bad, and some of the stuff that's downright crazy, been through it. My parents were jazz musicians. Gene Ammons, The Black Cat. Now he's recognized in jazz circles. I think it's because of his drug problems that he wasn't more successful, like more famous. But he played with the Cats. Like he's got Ron Carter on here and Idris Muhammad, rhythm section. Here's one that I found that this is not my dad's copy. I forget what happened to his, but I found this, and this one was almost looks like it was that's tape, yeah. But this is another one that I remember from childhood that my dad played a lot. The Twister, Gene Ammons. Kenny Burrell on guitar on this bad boy. Jackie McLean, Paul Chambers. And I have to show it because this is a label that I grew up with, seeing it spin and watching it spin a lot when my dad would play records. Prestige. This is the most famous iteration of the label to me. There are several others, and this wasn't the original. But it makes me, it's just iconic label, Prestige. Now, interestingly, my brother he was an excellent jazz guitarist. I have a lot of recordings. I have put some on my Bandcamp. You can hear me and my brother play. There's a couple of releases on my Bandcamp site so you can hear my brother play. He played beautifully. I actually have just a short bit of footage from Down Under Lounge from the last time my brother played in public. You know what's sad is when it happened, I kind of knew it. Oh, see, just a little bit more and I'll move on, okay? But he loved horn. He loved Miles Davis, and he especially loved Charlie Parker, and so did my dad. And I'm just realizing here that I don't have all of the Charlie Parker records that I inherited from him on display. They're so beat, but there's a stack of them. But here's one. The recording quality of this is not that good, but the performance is amazing. Bird is Free. My dad used to play this and marvel at it. Not the sound quality, but at Parker's playing. Interestingly, I belong to a lot of record collecting groups, and I don't see Charlie Parker records very much at all in the jazz groups. It's like he's an antique. I don't understand. Maybe that's just my perception. Here's another one. Bird on Tenor, 1943. Birth of the Bebop. That's not an overstatement. It's the truth. Charlie Parker was a new voice and did things on the saxophone that had never been done before, that had been recorded. You know, but it's something I like to say. Like I say, I think some of the very finest music, the greatest art, has never been seen except by the people who created it. Some of the greatest music has never been recorded. I'm certain of that. Somebody sitting on in their backyard, or up in their bedroom, or out in the park, and what they did would be just mind-blowing. I think it's probably still happening. West Coast Time, Charlie Parker. I was looking for the Charlie Parker with Strings album. It's over there, but it must be misfiled. I couldn't find it. That was one of my brother's favorite albums of all time, Charlie Parker with Strings. I have it somewhere. And then there's a couple more from his collection that I taped this, trying to preserve it. Jazz at Massey Hall. Look at that lineup, for God's fucking sake. And then listen to the performance. Charlie Parker with Dizzy Gillespie. Charlie Mingus. Okay? And I call him Charlie Chan on here. I don't know why, but it's Charlie Parker. And it's one of those old fantasy albums. They used to press the records apparently regularly on red vinyl. Interesting that this album is credited. They credit Charlie Parker as Charlie Chan. Must have been some kind of licensing deal or something there. And here's another one for my brother. The Ultimate Charlie Parker. With Fats Navarro, Bud Powell, Kenny Durham, the Cats. My dad knew Dizzy Gillespie. Last time my dad visited with Dizzy Gillespie, my brother was with him. This was sometime in the 80s. This was after a concert of Dizzy Gillespie and Earl Father Hines. I don't know what it is that I wanted to do, but after the show, I didn't hang out with my brother and my dad, but they I found out after the fact, stayed after the show, went backstage and hung out with Father Hines and Dizzy Gillespie. I think Jerry Mulligan was there too. Don't quote me. While I was pulling the Ammons, this was next to Ammons, and it's like, this is an album that I bought within the last 5 years that I've only played a couple times. I need to play it some more. Am from England, the improvisational avant-garde group that was highly influential to everyone, including Pink Floyd, the original Pink Floyd. I got ideas of their freeform jams and stuff, and Sid Barrett playing with the sound of the guitar and rubbing the strings. He got that from these guys. Eddie Prevost, Jonathan Tilbury, and other folks. This is the A Trio in M. And I have to listen to this. When I was pulling the other records, I said, shit, I don't remember that. It's good stuff. I love music of all types, I really do. So, yesterday, I, besides the work I did, I'm actually supposed to meet with Douglas either today or tomorrow. We're supposed to meet in person to work on the poetry project. But I watched what's the name of the channel? It's not Pop Goes the 60s. I watch him, but there's another channel about 60s music that I like to watch. I have to make a pause right here. Yeah, the channel is called Yesterday's Papers, and they upload about, it seems like 1 or 2 videos per month, all regarding the 60s, British pop. And so about a month ago, they did a segment about the Billy Nichols album, which I forgot I had watched it, but I forgot, so I watched it again. And they talked about a Del Shannon album, but I don't have the one that Billy Nichols wrote for, but I have this one. It's really good. The Further Adventures of Charles Westover. Now, you know that Del Shannon had that big hit Runaway way back, but this is a really nice pressing too. Excuse me. But this is music that in many ways was Pet Sounds. Yeah. Not Sgt. Pepper's, but Pet Sounds was the album that unleashed all of this pop experimentation and growth. And this is a very good album. Very good album. Now, before I go, one other record that I played yesterday, hadn't played this in a long time. Beautiful. Terge Ripdahl, Descendre, with Paul Mickelborg and John Christensen. Can't go wrong. So as I'm making the video, I see a prompter here that I just got. Yeah, so when someone... Yeah, but okay. So I'm up to date. So if I didn't say it, what's on the plate for today is I may be meeting with Doug in person today to work on the poetry project. That would be fine. Otherwise, I just intend to just be in this room for the most part, because today is the beginning of a heat wave. And this is the only room that is air conditioned. And so I'll be spending a lot of time in here. So that's what I have to share, folks. I had to do this in 2 parts, so I'm going to go splice them together and then upload it. Have a great day. Love you all. Love you all.